2 News at Noon begins now.
The Shoshone County Sheriff's Office, it is back open. However, not all services will be available right away as they are recovering from last month's shooting.
And we have a fairly mild January day. That's how we kick off the week, and we'll show you which days will be the warmest.
And flu cases still increasing, and now some local hospitals have visitor restrictions in place. We'll let you know what those are. Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for being with us here on KREM 2 News at Noon. I'm Laura Papetti, and we are taking a live look right now as Governor Brad Little kicks off the legislative session for 2026. At this moment, he's about to share his plan for the year in his State of the State address. Lawmakers will decide this session what gets approved, and you can watch the full address right now. That is on KREM 2 Plus. KREM 2 Plus, easy to use. You can watch it on your TV and download it for free. All right, take a pause on the day's news and talk about the day's weather. We have Thomas Patrick. He is outdoor in the Weather Center. And Thomas, what do you know?
Yeah, missed a little bit of excitement while I was on vacation last week with the snow squall warnings last week. Now, still a little leftover snow on the ground, but a lot of that melting today because our temperatures have been in the 40s all day long, including this morning. We had a low of 40 degrees. That's it. Since then, even with the overcast and cloudy skies, temperatures are at least warming into the mid 40s, 46 in Spokane and Spokane Valley right now. I don't think it will get much warmer than this, maybe another degree or two. But honestly, we're closer to 50 than not, if you want to think of it that way. So a fairly mild January day, even with all this cloud cover, could be a little bit thinner over central Washington. If anything, you might catch the stray sprinkle. Our Doppler radar does have that kind of near sand point right now. Big picture view shows what is an atmospheric river that's pointed at the northwest, but it is so weak and kind of it's just not strong at all. So only the west side is really getting any rain. It's hard to even see behind the analysis here. So I do not think we're going to get a ton of rain. Really very little, if anything, out of this. So instead, temperatures stay mild because of that pattern. I got 46 for the high. I'm going to bump that up by at least a degree here because we have mid 40s to almost low 50s for areas of the inland northwest today, thanks to this albeit weak atmospheric river.
All right, my friend, thank you. Nearly 3 weeks after a man fired shots inside the Shoshone County Sheriff's Office, the building has partially reopened. KREM 2's Brandon T. Jones reports on what services are available as of today.
Well, for nearly 3 weeks, there's been some yellow crime scene tape that has been placed outside of the Shoshone County Sheriff's Office. You can see that now has been removed, and something else that will be here for at least the immediate future is a red phone that they are now asking people who live here in the area to use as they slowly reopen and are still recovering from that shooting that happened back on December 26th. So opening the doors, that's a step towards rehealing here in this community. Last night, the Shoshone County Sheriff's Office posted on their Facebook that the driver's license office inside of the building is officially reopened. As they take this next step, though, the lobby will only be available at a limited capacity. Again, on that December 26th, 3 people were injured in that shooting here at the office. 2 were civilians sitting in a truck outside of the building. They were both shot in the leg. The third injured was an officer struck in the air. The suspect, 77-year-old John Drake, was shot and killed by officers in the lobby. Now, while this investigation continues, again, that red phone will be positioned outside, and officials are asking that you pick up that phone and let dispatch know why you're here. The office says 1 person at a time will be buzzed in to do their transaction with the driver's license department, and officials say this process is the only option to provide licensed services to the public until the next phase of construction to the Sheriff's Office lobby, dispatch, and building. They also say they anticipate closures in the future as construction and repairs continue to take place here at the Shoshone County Sheriff's Office, but they did say they will continue to keep people who live here updated as well. For now, though, reporting here in Wallace, Brandon T. Jones, KREM 2 News.
Brandon, thank you. Today, Providence hospitals in the inland northwest are applying new visitor restrictions, and this is really because of a rise in respiratory illnesses in our area. Visitation hours are now limited from 8 a.m. until 8 p.m., and inpatients can only have up to 2 visitors at once. Visitors under the age of 18 will not be allowed in certain areas of the hospitals, And this policy change impacts Providence hospitals and clinics in Spokane and Stevens counties, including Sacred Heart. You can find more department-specific guidelines. It's on our website, KREM.com. And this happens as flu cases continue to spread all across the country. According to the CDC, there have been more than 15 million cases so far this season. The CDC says children under the age of 2 are at a particularly high risk of developing serious complications from the flu. However, some kids are not eligible for the flu vaccine as it is recommended for those 6 months and older. Roughly 180,000 people have been hospitalized so far and 7,400 people have died. Most of the cases are from a severe strain of influenza known as subclade K.
This subclade K, which is a new strain that probably is not included in the current vaccine.
The CDC estimates 130 million doses of the vaccine have been distributed nationwide this season, but that covers less than 40% of the U.S. population. And a health alert comes from Western Washington after 3 reported measles cases in King and Snohomish counties. Now, the cases are from a family that was visiting from South Carolina. 1 adult and 2 kids had measles while in the state between December 28th and January 1st. The 2 kids had not been vaccinated. The family says they went to several places in Marysville, Mukilteo, and Everett while contagious. They also traveled through SeaTac Airport and the car rental facility. A Spokane couple pleaded guilty to stealing more than $100,000 from an elderly woman back in 2022. Mark and Tyree Strahl used to own what's called LifeStage, a company that helps advise elderly people. 85-year-old Pat Hawley's late husband paid for the help. The Strahls would make sure bills were paid for, and they took Hawley to her doctor's appointments and even brought groceries. But the couple started to take Hawley's money, and an audit found that they had stolen $145,000.
I hope that they can never work with the elderly again for the rest of their lives. They don't deserve to. They will take advantage of people if they do again. And I want Pat to get her $145,000 back.
So there is a civil trial to try to make them return Hawley's money coming up on April 18th. Search crews have found the bodies of 2 people killed in an avalanche in the East Central Cascades on Friday. The Kittitas County Sheriff's Office says a group of 4 skiers touring in the backcountry got caught in the slide near Longs Pass. 2 of them were buried, and they were identified as a 38-year-old Paul Markoff from North Bend and a 43-year-old Eric Henn from Snoqualmie Pass. The 2 other people survived. They were able to send a distress signal using a Garmin satellite device. And we do have an update for you after an explosion at a restaurant in North Spokane. Fire crews say the fire started at the El Ranchito in the 9 Mile area on Friday. It was undergoing renovations at the time, and workers say they heard popping noises and then evacuated. Luckily, no one was hurt, and the cause of that fire is still under investigation. All right, we do want to take a moment here and let you know that our KREM 2 News family is growing. We are welcoming a new team member tonight. She is from the area, is excited to be back home, and joined us tonight to welcome her to KREM 2 News and as one of the new evening anchors. Again, that'll be tonight on KREM 2 News at 6 o'clock.